Happy Thursday in the Pacific time and happy Friday for Australians. How are you today? I am so excited for our conversation today, and I'm really sorry that I've had to pre-record this. I've been having my dog's having some issues and I've got to take her to the vet and I couldn't change the time. So I'm really sorry, but what I wanted to do is still come on here so I can help you with the belly fat. What is it? What's it caused from? And why is it happening? All right. So in the meantime, you know what to do. You can send me a DM and I'll get back to you. And have any more questions, send me an email. All right. So what is belly fat, right? So belly fat is the stuff that's around here. It's this thing that happens as we age. Okay, so maybe you didn't have it when you were in your 20s and your 30s, and then all of a sudden it comes upon you. And it comes upon you little bit by little bit, right? And then you hit this age of, might be in your mid 40s, it might be your 50s, of a tire. And you're like, why is this? And I'm gonna be really honest here with you. So a lot of that can be from you just over excessive eating, right? You're eating more than you should be, which is why you're in the group. So there's no magic pill to get rid of this. But here's the thing. When we also lose, as we're aging, we are losing muscle tone, right? So as our muscle tone is depleting, and it is real, it depletes. And that's why we talk about making sure you have enough protein, but also have some carbs, because if you don't have the carbs, you don't have the energy. Good fats, right? There's a whole thing that goes on with this. But when we go and talk about how our bodies are changing, we need to be realizing that we once probably were a lot firmer around our mid, right? Our abdominals. And then as we've been aging, it's disappearing, which means that we need to be then looking at how do we increase some muscle tone back in our abs, because when that depletes, it all turns to fat, right? And the other thing is that we're doing less. So I don't mean even in just, any kind of exercise, but we're doing less in the sense that we're not as active as we once were, right? Things have changed, but also we are as we age, we become less, what's the word? There's a word for it, where you're turning and you're picking up and all these things. We don't do them so much anymore. We become very parallel in our life. We walk this way, we turn our body a little bit, but we're not really turning from the waist, and we're not doing things to help this midriff become stronger and less fat around here. So the things that we need to look at, first of all, what causes it? So it's caused from fat, it's caused from sugar. So this is or stress, right? So stress is always underneath all this stuff, because if we are stressed, it raises your cortisol levels and also your sugar, right? The glucose goes up. So then you're not having a balanced hormonal, right? Our hormones go out, and then you think it's your hormones, when most times it's not. Most times it's always coming back to the nutrition and your stress levels. Stress levels come at us from so many different levels. And you know what? As women, we have a very good way of pushing them down and keeping them in us without dealing with it. And this is when all that stuff is inside us and it's coming at us. And all of a sudden it will just hit. So we need to be looking at movement, turning, getting some fitness, something back, some strength back in our abs, and what we're consuming. Food matters. We need to look at that and the amount of it. And I did make some notes because I didn't have any coming on because I've recorded this. And I know there was one other thing I wanted to talk about, and it is the only thing I missed. It's really about lifestyle changes. So as we're aging, our bodies are changing, the way we think is changing, and we need to look at ourselves now, right? We need to calm down. We need to stop this racingness, and we need to know what we're putting in our food, in our mouth. We need to think about before we eat. And realistically, the fats that we're eating, right? The foods that we're eating. My mom's calling me. Yeah, so cute. She saw me. I was on doing another FaceTime. All right, so sometimes it is hormonal. But I would say 9 times out of 10, before you think it's hormonal, you need to look at yourself and think to yourself, is your stress? Where are you? And what are you consuming if you feel that you just can't seem to, have the results that you want in your weight, in your body image, right? This is where it's coming from. You want to look different and you want to feel different. So we need to figure out where is it coming from and how do we make that plan to get there. All right, so this can be solved, and it's usually solved quite easily with a few things that you're doing. All right, so I hope this helps you. I hope that it's making you understand. I'm just making sure and water, okay? Water, water, water. Make sure you're drinking 3 liters a day. 3 liters a day. I hope these are giving you some ideas and some structure to understand that it didn't just appear, first of all, right? It's been there for some time. We don't just throw all this stuff on. It's just been a lack of your knowledge, your lack of your looking and wanting to change, or maybe this is where you were doing all the fad diets, and then that whole roller coaster is doing things to your relationship with food. It's actually then changing how you look at yourself. And it's just this constant, ladies, right? And to be able to be in a really good place where you're loving yourself and being able to, drop the weight with ease and flow. It is possible. It absolutely is. I have clients doing it, but we need to also just realize that you're here for a reason, and this is about learning and knowledge. And be kind to yourself about it, because you don't want to stress about it, because then you're creating what you don't want, if that makes sense. I hope this helps, and I will be back next week, and I can't wait to see you, and I've got some great topics coming up. I'm going to look through the poll and add in some other, there's a couple of things that I'm going to talk about on those as well. All right, see you guys. Have a great day.